Where is that $2,000 that the president talked about late last year? Now, here's the thing. Every month that goes by, it's just another month that ticks on by, and we're like, we're getting kind of closer to the midterm election. And again, late last year when the president talked about this $2,000, again, time and time again, there's no denying it. We all know what he said. I have plenty of clips here on the channel. Still, the videos are still here from, several months ago where I highlighted many of the, the different remarks that the president made, and many different people within the administration that indicated this $2,000, okay? Now, did they promise it? I don't have any recollection of them promising it. I don't remember them saying, I promise this will be coming, but rather they indicated later on in 2026, which is, again, you could argue we're still kind of in the middle of the year. Okay, fine. Early August, yeah, kind of middle, pushing later on. Okay, fine. I agree. We're not totally late yet, but we're getting there for sure. But either way, we ultimately know that the line in the sand is ultimately midterm election day. We know that for a fact. Reason being is there's like nothing in it for them to do it after election day, essentially. We know that, right? So anyway, we literally have 3 months from the date. As of right now, Monday, August 3rd, as I film this video. Okay, so what do we need to understand about this? Now, here's the deal. We've seen a lot of the economic data coming in recently. Bad. It's not looking good, okay? Now, here's another thing that I want to point out as well, because again, I see comments down below every so often. People say like, we're not getting anything, ever. We'll never get something again. Well, I'd actually push back on that and say, yeah, just watch. The next time that we fall into a nasty recession, which will happen, it's the natural ebb and flow of the economy. We will go through another cycle, which is a nasty recession. It will happen. When? We don't know. But when we do, we're going to print trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, unlike anything we've seen before, and we will likely get a small piece of that in the form of direct payments. So again, whenever that happens, we will absolutely be seeing payments then. But the big question is, when do we see that nasty recession? We'll see it at some point. Whenever that happens to be, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, it's coming tomorrow. No, it's not going to come tomorrow. But whenever it does, we will see that happen. But something else that we also want to take into consideration is just like where are we currently at right now with the overall economic picture, what is happening recently. The economic data coming in has not been all that great. It's actually been pretty bad, indicating that, yeah, the economy is certainly slowing. The labor market is certainly slowing. Hiring has slowed down significantly. We've seen a lot of layoffs. It's not necessarily being reflected in the overall unemployment rate. That's mostly holding steady and has been for probably a year now or so. It's kind of that low 4% range, but we're seeing essentially a record number of people that are not working. In fact, I had a video out maybe a week and a half ago or so, give or take a little bit. And the video was talking about the data that came out in June. Okay, so obviously here we are early August, but the numbers that came out in June indicated 105.8 million people, 16 and over, are not working. Do you think that's a little bit of a red flag? That seems weird. Why are 105.8 million people aged 16 and over not working? That's, by the way, almost a third of our population in the United States that literally is not working. Does that have a good sign of a strong, robust, whoa, we're growing so fast economy? No, not at all. That's basically a sign of saying things are slowing dramatically in a pretty big way. But anyway, here's the big deal that I also want to point out as well. And again, I was alluding to this earlier and I got sidetracked, which is I've seen comments down below every so often where people say we're not getting anything. The Supreme Court struck down the tariffs. You're right. That did happen. Back in February, Supreme Court came in and said the tariffs, as in the IEEPA, I-E-E-P-A tariffs, were illegal and it had to be refunded. Okay, they've been doing that, but they've been refunding billions of dollars. However, do you realize a week ago, the president unilaterally slapped tariffs on about 60 plus trading partners, global countries? You're obviously global countries, global trading partners, different countries around the world. 60 plus trading partners were hit with a tariff a week ago by the president. Do you realize that happened? Again, it's not out in the headlines a ton, but it did happen. So we are right back at it, tariffing countries again. What do you think they're going to do with that money? I don't know. I'm just saying they're going to be bringing in all kinds of money again from more tariffs that have literally just been implemented as of, I don't know, again, maybe a week, maybe it was 10 days ago, maybe it was 2 weeks ago now. Within the last, 10 days to 2 weeks or so, give or take a little bit, more tariffs were added to a whole list of countries all across the globe that are be hitting with these tariffs, okay? But anyway, it's anybody's guess at this point, okay? I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, the $2,000 is coming next week. Again, I'm making it very clear here. And again, I'm sure I'll see comments down below saying, but you promised. Dude, I'm not promising anything. I know just as much as you do, okay? I have no idea if they're going to do it. All I'm saying is that if they're going to do this $2,000 payment that the president indicated, again, to my knowledge, I never heard him say the word promise. I never heard him say promise. Again, I'm just being 100% fair here. I did not hear him say promise, but we absolutely 100% did hear him talk about the distribution of this $2,000 sometime later in 2026. And again, here we are, early August. I, to be fair, would not consider this late 2026, but I would consider this, middle to pushing later. Once we push into September, I would say, yeah, we're like, you could kind of classify this as getting later in 2026. Once we get into October, I would then say, yes, we are late in 2026 at that point. But right now, we're kind of still in that gray area. We're, kind of whatever you want to call it, that's fine. But point being is that the closer and closer we get to literally November 3rd, the more that the temperature is going to be pushed up on this thing as far as the distribution of it, if they don't do it or if they do in the first place. Okay, but remember, the whole purpose of that in the first place was basically to put money into the pockets of people right before the midterm election. Now, I want to point something else out as well. And again, you might be thinking, oh, he's trying to make this a political video. I'm not, okay? I'm being as neutral as I possibly can on this. I am not here to push political propaganda whatsoever. It does not matter to me. I'm here to support you in this community. I don't care what you believe politically. It literally doesn't matter. I'm here to support you. That's all that really matters to me, okay? When it comes down to politics, I don't care what it comes down to. It's all kind of corrupt. I think we can all probably agree with that, right? But anyway, that's just politics in general. But point being as well, I also want to throw this out there. With all this economic data that continues to get weaker and weaker all the time, and more people that are feeling the pinch of the affordability thing, may be an additional catalyst to actually really, essentially get something to the people before the midterm as well. That may be a very good positive catalyst to do something, especially with weakening economic data. Realistically, one way that they can bring that back up pretty quickly is if they did some type of